Imagine two Americans turning 62 on the exact same day. They worked for the same number of years. They earned almost identical incomes. They paid into Social Security their entire careers. But when retirement arrives, they make two completely different choices. The first person decides to claim Social Security immediately. The second person waits. Because everywhere they look, they hear the same message. Never take Social Security early. Waiting until 70 is the smarter move. Anyone who claims at 62 is making a mistake. So the second person delays their benefits, believing they are making the financially responsible decision. But years later, something unexpected happens. The person who waited may have a larger monthly check, but the person who claimed at 62 may have created something just as valuable. More flexibility, more invested time, and more control over their retirement years. And this raises a question that challenges one of the most common retirement beliefs in America. What if taking Social Security at 62 is not always a financial mistake? What if for some people it is actually the strategy that creates the better life? Because the truth is, Social Security is not simply a decision about getting a bigger monthly payment. It is a decision about time, health, family, investments, life expectancy, and what you value most during the years when your freedom matters the most. For decades, retirement advice has often treated Social Security like a simple mathematical equation. Wait longer, receive more. Therefore, waiting must be better. But retirement decisions are rarely that simple. A bigger check does not automatically mean a better outcome. A smaller check does not automatically mean a worse one. The smartest decision depends on the person behind the numbers. And understanding why requires looking deeper into how Social Security actually works. For most Americans, Social Security represents something much bigger than a monthly payment. It represents security after decades of work. It represents a promise that after spending 30, 40, or even 50 years contributing to the economy, there will be something waiting when the working years come to an end. But the moment someone becomes eligible, they face one of the biggest financial decisions of their life. Claim early at 62? Wait until their full retirement age? Or delay until 70? The difference between these choices can be thousands of dollars every year. For someone claiming at 62, the monthly benefit can be permanently reduced compared with waiting until full retirement age. And delaying beyond full retirement age can increase benefits even further through delayed retirement credits. On paper, the answer seems obvious. Why would anyone choose less money? But retirement is not lived on paper. A spreadsheet does not experience stress. A spreadsheet does not have health problems. A spreadsheet does not help an aging spouse. A spreadsheet does not understand that time becomes more valuable when there are fewer years ahead. This is where many retirement conversations become incomplete. They focus only on maximizing income. But a successful retirement is not just about maximizing dollars. It is about maximizing the life those dollars allow you to live. Consider someone named Michael. After 38 years working in manufacturing, Michael reaches age 62. He has some retirement savings, but he does not have millions invested. His house is almost paid off. His monthly expenses are manageable. But he has one major concern. His job has become physically exhausting. Every morning, he wakes up with more pain than the year before. He could continue working until 67. Financially, waiting would likely increase his future Social Security payment. But he asks himself a different question. What am I waiting for? Because the decision is not only about money coming in. It is also about what he is giving up while he waits. 5 more years of working. 5 more years without freedom. 5 more years where his health may continue declining. For Michael, claiming at 62 may not be about giving up money. It may be about buying back time. And this is the part many people overlook. Social Security is not just a retirement income decision. It is a lifetiming decision. But before concluding that everyone should claim early, there is another side of the story. Because the opposite mistake is also common. Some people hear that taking Social Security early can make sense and assume waiting is unnecessary. That can create serious problems. The reality is that delaying benefits can be extremely valuable for certain people, especially those who are healthy, expect a long retirement, have enough savings to cover their early years, and want the highest possible guaranteed income later in life. For these people, waiting can act almost like purchasing a larger lifetime income stream. A person who delays from 62 to 70 may receive significantly higher monthly payments for the rest of their life. And for someone who lives into their 80s or 90s, that larger benefit can become very important. This is why Social Security decisions are complicated. The question is not, is claiming at 62 good or bad? The better question is, which strategy matches your personal financial reality? Because two people can make opposite decisions and both be financially intelligent. The biggest misunderstanding about Social Security is believing there is one perfect age that works for everyone. There is not. The government created different claiming options because Americans have different circumstances. Someone retiring with a large investment portfolio is in a completely different position from someone depending heavily on Social Security. Someone in excellent health is in a different position from someone facing serious medical concerns. Someone who wants to keep working is different from someone whose career has become physically or emotionally overwhelming. The same decision can produce completely different outcomes depending on the person making it. And this reveals a deeper lesson about money. The best financial decisions are rarely universal rules. They are personal strategies built around your goals, your risks, and your reality. But to understand why claiming at 62 can sometimes be the smarter move, we need to look beyond the simple "more money is better" argument, because there is a hidden factor that changes the entire calculation. And most people never include it when thinking about retirement. That factor is the value of time. When people compare Social Security options, they usually focus on one question: how much money will I receive every month? But retirement decisions are not only about the size of the payment, they are about when that payment arrives. And that difference changes everything. Because money received today has one advantage that money received later does not. You can use it, you can invest it, you can protect yourself with it. You can spend it on experiences that may not be possible years later. This is the part of retirement planning that often gets ignored. People calculate the size of the check, but they forget to calculate the value of having those years back. Imagine two retirees. Sarah claims Social Security at 62. Her friend Linda waits until 70. Linda receives a larger monthly benefit. On paper, Linda appears to have made the smarter financial decision, but Sarah receives 8 years of payments before Linda ever collects a dollar. Those early payments create an opportunity. Sarah can use that income to reduce withdrawals from her retirement savings. She can invest part of it. She can pay down debt. She can create more breathing room in her budget. The money is doing something immediately. Meanwhile, Linda is waiting for a larger future benefit. And the question becomes, how much is the future increase worth compared with the years of payments given up? This is where retirement decisions become less about simple math and more about personal strategy. Financial experts often talk about the break-even point of Social Security. This is the age when the total amount received by someone who delayed claiming catches up with the total amount received by someone who claimed earlier. For example, someone who claims at 62 may collect smaller checks for a longer period. Someone who waits until 70 may collect larger checks but for fewer years. Eventually, the person who waited may catch up. But the important question is, what happens before that point? Because retirement is not only measured by what happens at age 85. It is also measured by what happens at age 62, 65, 70, and every year in between. The early years of retirement are often some of the healthiest years people have left. These are the years when they may still have the energy to travel, spend time with family, start new hobbies, or simply enjoy freedom after decades of work. A decision that increases future income but reduces present freedom may not always be the best choice. This is where human psychology enters the conversation. People often assume that retirement decisions are purely mathematical, but humans do not make money decisions like calculators. They make decisions based on fear, identity, emotions, and personal experiences. For many people, waiting until 70 feels responsible because society has connected delayed gratification with intelligence. We are taught, save more, work longer, delay rewards. Think about the future, and those principles can be powerful. But sometimes people become so focused on maximizing the future that they forget to consider the present. A person can spend years protecting a retirement they never fully enjoy. They can sacrifice experiences today for a financial advantage they may not need tomorrow. The challenge is finding the balance. There is another factor that makes early claiming more reasonable for some people: health and longevity. A common argument for delaying Social Security is that Americans are living longer. And that is true for many people. A longer lifespan means a larger monthly benefit can become increasingly valuable. But averages do not describe individuals. Not everyone reaches the same age. Not everyone has the same health. Not everyone has the same family history. Someone who expects a shorter retirement because of health concerns may value receiving benefits earlier. For that person, waiting may mean giving up years of payments they could have used when they needed them most. This is why retirement planning requires honesty. Not just about money, but about life. Consider another example. James is 62 and has saved enough money to cover his basic expenses. He is healthy, still enjoys his career, and expects a long retirement. For James, waiting may make sense. The larger future Social Security payment could become a valuable source of guaranteed income later in life, especially if he reaches an age where managing investments becomes more difficult. A higher benefit could provide stability during his later years. Now compare him with Michael from earlier. Michael is tired. His job is affecting his health. His savings are limited. His biggest concern is not maximizing income at age 85. His biggest concern is creating a sustainable life now. The same Social Security system creates two different answers because two different people are asking two different questions. James is asking, how can I maximize long-term security? Michael is asking, how can I create a better quality of life without damaging my future? Both questions are valid, but there is another hidden advantage to claiming earlier that many people overlook: the ability to control your money instead of depending entirely on future promises. When Social Security begins, it creates another income source. That income can reduce pressure on retirement accounts. And this matters because the early retirement years can be financially unpredictable. Markets can fall, unexpected expenses can appear, medical costs can increase, family situations can change. Having income coming in can provide psychological security. And psychology matters because financial stress can influence decision-making. A retiree who feels financially trapped may make choices differently from someone who has flexibility. Sometimes the greatest value of early Social Security is not the amount of money. It is the confidence that comes from having another source of income. However, there is one mistake people make when thinking about claiming at 62. They treat it as an emotional decision. They say, I'm tired of working, so I'll just take it. But the smartest early claimers are not simply escaping work. They are creating a strategy. They understand their expenses. They understand their savings. They understand their health situation. They understand what they are giving up and what they are gaining. The decision is not, do I want money now? The decision is, what role should Social Security play in my overall retirement plan? That question changes everything. The deeper lesson is that retirement is not a competition to get the largest possible monthly check. It is a process of designing a life. Some people need maximum guaranteed income later. Some people need flexibility today. Some people need protection against living a very long life. Others need to use their resources while they have the health and energy to enjoy them. The smartest retirees are not the ones who follow the loudest advice. They are the ones who understand the trade-offs. Because every financial decision has a cost. Waiting has a cost. Claiming early has a cost. The question is not whether there is a perfect choice. The question is whether the choice matches your life. But there is still one more piece of the puzzle. Because the biggest reason some people regret claiming early is not the smaller check. It is a mistake they make before they ever file for benefits. And understanding that mistake is what separates a thoughtful Social Security strategy from a rushed retirement decision. The biggest mistake people make with Social Security is believing the decision starts with a number. They look at these ages as if one of them contains the secret answer. But the truth is, the age you choose is only the surface of the decision. The deeper question is, what are you trying to accomplish with your retirement? Because retirement is not simply the moment when your paycheck stops. It is the moment when your time becomes your most valuable asset. And once you understand that, the Social Security decision becomes much clearer. For some people, the goal is maximum financial protection. They want the highest guaranteed income possible because they are worried about outliving their savings. For them, delaying Social Security may be a powerful strategy. A larger monthly benefit later in life can provide stability during the years when working is no longer an option. It can protect against one of the biggest retirement fears, running out of money. Imagine someone who reaches their late 80s or 90s. Their investments may have changed. Their expenses may have increased. Their ability to manage finances may not be what it was decades earlier. In that situation, a larger Social Security payment can become extremely valuable. For people in this category, waiting may not simply be about getting more money. It may be about buying peace of mind. But for others, the priority is completely different. They are not trying to maximize every possible dollar. They are trying to maximize the life they have available. They may want to spend more time with grandchildren, travel while they still have the energy, leave a stressful career earlier, care for a spouse, or simply wake up without the pressure of a job they no longer enjoy. For these people, claiming at 62 may not represent poor planning. It may represent a conscious decision to exchange some future income for more freedom today. And that is a trade many people never consider. Because time is the one resource money cannot replace. You can earn more money. You can invest more money. You can save more money. But you cannot create more years of healthy, active life. This is why the smartest retirement decisions usually begin with a personal inventory. Not a calculator. Not a popular opinion. A personal inventory. Ask yourself, what does my health look like? What are my realistic expenses? Do I have other sources of income? How much do I have saved? Do I enjoy working? Am I working because I want to or because I have no choice? What does my ideal retirement actually look like? These questions reveal something important. Social Security is not the entire retirement plan. It is one piece of the larger picture. The mistake is allowing one decision to control everything else. Another important factor is the role of investments. Someone with significant retirement savings may have more flexibility. They may be able to delay Social Security and allow their investments to support them temporarily. Someone with limited savings may benefit from having Social Security income begin earlier. Neither person is making a better decision. They are solving different problems. This is a pattern that appears throughout personal finance. The same strategy can be excellent for one person and harmful for another. A mortgage may be a smart tool for someone building wealth and a burden for someone struggling with debt. A credit card can provide convenience and rewards for one person and financial damage for another. Money decisions are not just about the action. They are about the situation surrounding the action. There is also a psychological side to retirement that is rarely discussed. Many people spend their entire working life preparing financially for retirement, but they never prepare emotionally. They imagine retirement as an escape from work, but they do not think about purpose, routine, connection, meaning. And this matters because the decision about Social Security is also connected to how someone views their next chapter. For one person, retirement means freedom. For another, retirement feels like losing identity. Someone who enjoys working may happily delay benefits. Someone who feels exhausted may value leaving earlier. The money decision is connected to the life decision. So is taking Social Security at 62 actually the smarter move? For some people, yes. It can be the right decision when health concerns make waiting less attractive. Working longer reduces quality of life. Savings and expenses support the choice. Early income creates stability, and the person values using their time while they have the ability to enjoy it. But for others, waiting can be the better move when they expect a long retirement, they have enough resources to delay, they want higher guaranteed income later, or they want stronger protection against longevity risk. The answer is not found in a universal rule. It is found in understanding the trade-off. The greatest financial lesson hidden inside the Social Security debate is this. A smart financial decision is not always the decision that produces the biggest number. Sometimes it is the decision that creates the most freedom. Because money has two purposes. The first is survival. The second is allowing you to experience life. A retirement strategy that only focuses on increasing income, but ignores health, happiness, relationships, and time may miss the entire purpose of retirement. The goal is not to win a mathematical competition. The goal is to build a life that your money supports. When people look back on their financial decisions years later, they rarely remember only the numbers. They remember the moments, the family gatherings they attended, the places they visited, the stress they avoided, the time they had. And this is why Social Security is such a personal decision. It is not just about choosing when money arrives. It is about choosing what you want your remaining years to look like. The smartest retirees understand something important. There is no perfect claiming age. There is only a strategy that fits the life you are trying to create. Because the ultimate purpose of money was never just to collect more of it. The purpose was always to use it wisely, to create security, to create choices, and to create the freedom to spend your most valuable resource, your time, on the things that matter most.